So what I want you to do, if you have any questions all along the way, go ahead and shoot them to me, and I'll try to tag some of them at the end and see if I can address some of the questions. But the first thing I want you to think about is we're getting back into the school year. So for a lot of you, this is the last day of Christmas break. And that means your kids are going to be like, I don't want to go back to school. And you're kind of like, I don't really want to get up early and take you to school either. I get that. So I'm going to teach you guys a concept that I learned in graduate school that we call pairing. Okay, so for everything in our environment, we have kind of either a positive association with it or a negative association with it. So if I'm starving and I'm driving down the road and I see the sign for a Chick-fil-A over there, my brain sees that sign, and that sign is a signal to me, and my brain goes, ding, 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 there's reinforcement available over there. At the same time, when I go to a doctor's office and they roll in the cart with the shots and the needles and all that sort of stuff, my brain goes, it's an aversive, it's a negative, I don't want anything to do with that. And so this pairing, this learning thing goes on with everything in our environment. When your children, when you get home from school and they've been exhausted and they're tired and they're mentally toast, you plop that backpack up on the kitchen table and you're like, okay, pull out your homework, it's time to do your homework. And usually you and your kid both pair that with a, it's something negative, it's aversive. You don't want to have anything to do with it. So one thing I want you guys to do is just, let's change that. Let's change that whole concept of negative association. Alright, so I'm going to teach you guys how to make that pairing differently. One thing that you need to do is give your kids a little bit of downtime when they come home from school, but they don't need to have too much. You don't want their brain to totally shut off for the entire evening, but they need some time to just decompress. And then either before dinner or after dinner, make homework a time where you have a game, okay? Your kids, if they've not seen you all day and they've been in school or you've been at work or you've been at home, they're really, really craving your attention. So your attention is something that they are really highly motivated to have. I am guilty of this. I have done this in the past, and it is grab your homework and go do it. And before we know it, two things are happening. The kid is either not doing the homework, or they're goofing off, they're not paying attention, or they're in challenging behavior because they are struggling and they don't really want to deal with it. So we shove our kids off during homework time and say, just get it done. On the flip side, if you change that into, okay, I'm going to make homework time a time where we're actually, this is my time, this is my you time for a few minutes, whether it's 15 minutes or it's 45 minutes. All right, I'm going to make a game out of this. So what you need to do is you need to start off having a list. Now, a lot of your kids have agendas that come from school, and if your kid writes it out, more than likely there might be assignments missing, but hopefully they've picked that up by now. But if you have it, then you can write out a list. Just so I've got here, math worksheet, practice spelling, and read pages 16 through 19 in social studies. So actually, our brains, we are trained, there's research on this also. When we write out a list, and every time we mark out something on our list, we have that positive bing in our brain. Same thing that goes off when we see that little red flag on our Facebook page, and we're like, yay, I got a like for my post, or yay, somebody's watching my live video. My brain goes, woohoo! Well, when you mark something off on a list, your brain does the exact same thing. So does your child's. So write it out. They need a very clear-cut understanding of what I'm going to be doing for homework. Alright, at the same time, have a reward. Down here at the bottom, I have popsicle. Now, my kid has food allergies, and I don't necessarily give him tons of sugar for everything all the time. But we do have some of those natural, juicy popsicle things in our freezer. And I really restrict sugar in desserts in our house, hopefully, because that makes them that much more reinforcing or rewarding when I need to use them for a reward like this. So, sticker charts are great for kids. We're going to get more into token systems and sticker charts in another video one day. But always make sure that your child knows exactly what they're working for when they're putting their stickers or marking off their list. This is what I get when I'm done with it. At the same time, this is something I use at my house, I've used it in my office. This is a crap bucket. And I know every teacher knows exactly what this is. This is, a Crown. You pick up these things on sale. When you go to Walmart or Target, the dollar bin. So I've got straws. I've got these little things. You know how many kids have played with these things and they just twirl them around? Yeah, they love these things. So every teacher has a crap bucket. You can tell the kid, pick out one thing you want to earn out of the crap bucket. to save you a whole lot of grief when it comes to behavior and homework time. Popsicles, tangible items like that. A certain movie. Oh, you want to play on your iPad tonight? Sure. Let's write that on our list at the bottom, and then we're going to do our 1, 2, 3 things, and then we get our iPad. So, we're using token systems and positive interactions and attention to make this whole homework thing a positive experience for the kid. Now, you can also do other goofy little games, like you can build towers, and for every one problem that we do on math, let's build a tower, and then we keep doing our math worksheet. You're there with them, guiding them along, and once they get to so many and it gets so high, you can knock it over on top of mom's head. Woo! Okay, yeah. So anything like that. Older kids, they like Jenga. You can use these types of games for anything to break an aversive pairing that a child has with something. My oldest son, for him, it was vegetable soup. And any kind of, squishy food, chili or anything like that. So we started playing story games or other card games at dinner. And he couldn't take his turn until he took a bite. And so he was very, very motivated to, scoop, there we go, get his bite, and then he took his turn. And before long, he wasn't even thinking about what he was eating at all. He was just playing the game. Same thing, you can do the exact same thing with math. Also, now these are kind of little, but don't just use worksheets. They might send home worksheets, but use tangible things. You've got Scrabble tiles.